This series is called Connecting with Alumni, and Darian is our first in this speaker series, so we're very excited to have him. He's currently working in marketing and real estate. He's also the owner of 2 clothing companies, Chirp City and Midwest Clothing Company. So without further ado, please welcome Darian Thomas.
Well, Ms. Butler, thank you. The real reason why I'm here is I have a unique story. My story is potentially a little bit different than, your average person. You can look at it a couple different ways, but let's rewind back before even 07. If you guys can think back that far, I'm not even sure how old you guys were. Some of you guys were probably still in diapers, but I went to Eastern Heights. So I was in 8th grade at the time, and I was playing football. And when I played football, after practice, my mother would come and pick me up after school. So this one time, I'm waiting for her to come pick me up, and she never came. So I'm thinking, what is this lady doing? She's really gonna make me walk home, from football practice. I hated walking home. She knew it. So when I got home, I actually had found out, that she was actually in the hospital. Now, this wasn't the first time she'd been in the hospital. She'd been in the hospital before, so it really wasn't anything new to me. I'm thinking, okay, this has happened before, so it's gonna happen. Well, a week went by, and she was still in the hospital. A month went by, she was still in the hospital. And I remember distinctly, I never really got scared. I never really was afraid because it's my mom, and stuff like this, stuff like this doesn't happen to people like me. It happens to other people, but it can't happen to me. So a couple weeks go by, and I end up going to visit her in the hospital. And I remember this day distinctly because it was one of the scariest days of my life. That was the day my mother didn't recognize me when I walked into the hospital. She didn't know who I was. She was on a lot of pain medication, and she just didn't know who I was. And it was a scary time in my life, and it really hit home. But still, she's gonna come out of this. So a couple days go by, and I remember my aunt, who's here, Barbara Jean, and Sherry McGallis. So let me just give you the story behind that. So my aunt has known me, since I was a baby, pretty much helped raise me. Now, Sherry McGallis lived across the street from where I lived. Now, you guys are probably wondering, where were you living? Obviously, if you weren't living at home with your mom. Well, I was living at the McGallises. The McGallises had 3 kids, 1 boy and 2 daughters, all relatively around my age. So I had been living with them the whole entire time. And I remember coming back from a basketball practice, and they had sat me down, and they said, Darian, listen, your mom is really sick. She might not make it. Okay, that's fine. I understand. I understand you guys are telling me this, but something like this isn't going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. Why this doesn't happen to me? This happens to other people. Well, the next day, I get back home from basketball practice. They sit me down again, and they tell me, Darian, your mother's passed away. And that was probably the worst feeling I've ever had. It's almost like getting hit by a truck. For some of you girls, it's almost like, I guess, getting split ends. But it was very tough. It was very difficult, for me to take in. But I had a lot of questions, running through my head at the time. And a couple days later, we had the funeral, and it was still tough. But this, I still wanted to stay strong. I didn't want to show any type of emotion because I had a little sister, and I didn't want to, cry or really show anybody that I was weak. And I remember this distinctly. We were at the funeral, and a lot of my friends had came to visit and everything like that. And a couple girls came to visit, so I wanted to. I had my strut going on. There's this girl that I liked. So I wanted to, just make sure that everybody knew, that I was strong. And I remember my aunt was with me at the time, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, Darren, you know who I am? And, I have no idea, who this guy is. I've been meeting people all the time. He said, Darren, I'm your father. And mind you, this is the first time I'd ever met my real father. So I met my real father at my mother's funeral. I honestly have never cried so hard in my life. I don't know what it was. It was just all the emotion that I had pent up was just released out of me. I couldn't do anything but stop crying. And now let me segue into the real reason why I'm here. So, mind you, this was all still going on, and I was still in 8th grade. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was living with McGallis's across the street at the time. I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen with my life. I wasn't sure if I was going to go into foster care. I wasn't sure if I was going to live with my aunt, if I had to go live with my father, who I had just met. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So a lot of things were going on. I got the best phone call of my life because it was a lifelong dream of not only mine, but my mother to go to Elyria Catholic. And that's when I was told that I was accepted to Elyria Catholic. So when I got accepted to Elyria Catholic, I still was unsure because I didn't know where I was going to live. I had no idea where I was going to live. And I remember this. Now, this is the part, it's kind of tough. The McGallis's, they adopted me. It's tough because, sorry. It's just, it's tough because they gave me an opportunity, okay? I mean, you hear about so many different situations, stories about what happens to kids, when things like this happen. And nobody told them to do this. They didn't have to do this. They already had 3 kids of their own. They didn't have to take me in. And the McGallis's, I'm African American, okay? They're not. So you can already see what that looks like. It's difficult, and to this day, it is so hard for me to, it's just, looking back and just realizing what they did, it's so hard. And that's why I knew from that point on, literally from that point on, I'm going to work harder than every single person around me. I knew from that day that I found out I was adopted, I was going to be successful. No matter what. I knew from that day I had an obligation that I was going to be successful. Simple as that, hands down. So after I got adopted, while I was working, I caddied EDC, Elyria Country Club, ECC Elyria Country Club, and while I was caddying there, I met a Dr. Dan Alberts. Come to find out, he was an EC graduate as well, back in 1917. I'm just kidding, it wasn't that old, but it was sometime back then. But anyway, long story short, I was a junior going into my senior year, and what he did was he paid for my tuition my senior year. Paid for it all. Senior year, I didn't have to worry about tuition at all. He literally just took care of it. Didn't want any accolades, didn't want anything. So stemming from that to understand, my story, I have a lot of baggage with me. I have a lot of people who care about me. I have a lot of people who I can't let down. And that's why I work so hard. That's why I continue to work harder than every other person that I know. I remember in college, it was Earth History. I kid you not, it was Earth History, and I did bad on a test, and the test was very difficult. And somebody asked me, he said, "Darian, so what are you gonna do, if college doesn't work out?" I said, "What do you mean?" I looked at him like he was crazy, like, "What do you mean? What am I gonna do if college doesn't work out? What are you gonna do if college doesn't work out?" I said, "Listen, I don't think you understand, but I don't have an option B. There is no other option B. What if college doesn't work out? College is gonna work out." See, that's the problem with a lot of people nowadays is they have option B and C and D, or they think they have option B, C, and D. I only look at it as option A. I only had one option, and that was to be successful, because I had too many people on my back. I had too many people who wanted to see me succeed. I had too many people who got me to the position that I was in. I had way too many people to fail. I had way too many people to fail. So what I'm saying is this. I've identified my reason why. I've identified my reason why I am willing to work harder than every other person. I've identified my reason why. My reason why is my aunt. My reason why is Mrs. McGallis, who's sitting over there. My reason why is Elyria Catholic, because they rallied around me. My reason why is my hockey team that rallied around me. My reason why is Mrs. Butler. I found my reason why I'm willing to work harder than every other person around me. A lot of you guys, you have to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Listen up, you guys may learn something today. You have to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable. In life, you're gonna be doing things that you don't wanna do. I can tell you this much, and Miss Butler can attest to this, I hate waking up early. She calls me all the time at, mind you, 3-hour difference, but she calls me all the time, and I never answer. She just calls me early, and I hate waking up early. But there's certain things that you have to do in order to be successful. And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to wake up early when I need to. So, a lot of what I do, out in, currently Las Vegas right now is, I hand out club passes. First, I didn't like doing it. You want to know why? It was a very low return. Very, very low return. Hand out maybe 100, I kid you not, maybe 2 people would take them. Maybe 1 person would actually stop and talk to me. It's a very low return, but it motivated me. It motivated me to be comfortable with failure, because once you get comfortable with failure, that's when you're going to succeed. Everybody's afraid to fail. But if you're afraid to fail, you're afraid to succeed. Listen up, you guys may learn something today. I said if you're afraid to fail, you're afraid to succeed. You can't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail in life. I fail every single day. I'm not saying I'm a success, but I fail every single day. But it's got me this far. I'm not afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fail. You have to take advantage of your opportunities. Right here, look around. You guys have such a great opportunity. You guys are at a private high school. Private high school. You know how many kids would kill to be in your position? If I didn't come here, I would have killed to be in your position. My lifelong goal was to play ice hockey at Elyria Catholic. That was it. I didn't care. What did you want to be? I don't know. I wanted to play ice hockey at Elyria Catholic. Before I came here, that's it. That was my goal. That was my goal. So you know how many kids? I don't think you guys realize what advantage you guys have sitting here right now. Somebody cares. Somebody cares about you guys enough to put you at a private high school. Because there's a lot of parents out there who would just go to a public school. Somebody cares about you. And I think you guys really need to understand that. Don't feel like you're entitled to something because of where you are, though. Don't feel as if, I go here, so all of a sudden, I'm entitled to this. I'm better than this person. You're not better than anybody. I'm no better than any person here. I may work harder, but I'm no better than anybody here. Don't ever lose sight of that. You're never better than anybody. And if you are better than that person, help them out. You always need to give back to those who are in need. Don't ever lose sight of that. Now, I want you guys to look around, look at the person next to you, look at the person to the side of you. Now, do you think you're the hardest working person? Okay. All right. Now let me ask you this. Now look at your row right now. Look at your row. Do you think you're the hardest working person in your row? All right. So now that you're successfully the hardest working person next to you, you're the hardest working person in your row. Now look at your whole entire class. Are you the hardest working person in your class? I hear a lot of yeahs out there. Congratulations. Now, congratulations. You're the hardest working person in your class here. Now, what about in the school? Are you the hardest working person in the school? Okay, congrats. Congratulations. But guess what? Guess who's in the building? Are you the hardest working person in this building? I'll tell you this much. Whatever you're willing to do, I'm willing to do it twice. And I kid you not. I wake up every single day hungry. I wake up every single day like I haven't eaten in weeks. I wake up every single day. Okay? Listen up, you may learn something today. I wake up every single day motivated. Because I want it. I'm hungry. I want it. I want success so bad, I am willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever you're not willing to do, I'm willing to do it. I don't care what it is. You tell me what it is. If it's going to make me successful, it's going to make a better life for me and my family, I'm willing to do it. And that is the attitude that you have to have, ladies and gentlemen. Because once you guys go off to college, okay? Once you guys go out of college, that's the attitude that you have to have. This, I'm going to get around to it. It's not going to work. Trust me. Because when you get out there in the real world, it's lions out there. And you have to be willing to work hard. Yes, you may be the smartest person here. That's fine. You may be the prettiest girl here. That's fine. But you still have to work hard. All that stuff only going to get you so far. It's only going to get you so far in life. Trust me. You have to be willing to work hard. So they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Listen up, you guys may learn something today. I said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So what did I just do? I just said the same thing 3 different times, right? Said the same thing 3 different times, but I expect you guys to react differently. Now here's what happens in life. We prepare for things the same exact way over and over and over. We prepare for a test. We study for an hour, we get a C. We prepare for a test. We study for an hour, we get a C. Prepare for a test. We study for a half an hour, we get a D. So what do you think is going to happen on the next test if we study for an hour? But why do we continue to do it? People do that all the time. Put that into sports. People do it all the time. I'm going to dribble the ball for a half an hour, and then I'm going to go to the game. Well, coach, I don't know what it is. I was shooting basketballs at home, and they were going in, and I don't know. In the game, I'm not, it's just not translating. Tell me, have you ever heard of that kid who was the best practice basketball player in EC history? Anybody hear about that kid? What's that? I've never heard of him. What's his name? Mr. Wisner. So we're gonna. I had to get one in. On him. So, like I said, when you guys prepare for things, you have to prepare. You have to prepare differently every single time. Everybody's waiting for opportunity to knock on their door. Hi, it's opportunity. I'd like to offer you a job. How would you like to make $100,000 a year? It's not going to happen. Trust me. All right, opportunity is not going to knock on your door. What you got to do is you got to go to opportunity's house and you got to kick that door in and say, hey, I'm here. I'm ready. Where do I put my resume? That's it. I'm telling you, that's what works. This is my favorite. How many athletes do we have in here? Raise your hand. How many athletes? There we go. I like that. That's a big number. I like that. Okay. How many people are going to play a sport in college? Keep your hands up. I like that. You better be doing push-ups in the hallway. Listen, you want to talk about working hard. You better be prepared to be doing push-ups in the hallway right now. Because guess what? You're the best here. You're the best Elyria Catholic. Wherever you're going to go was the best at their school, if not better. Listen to your teachers. Listen to your coaches. But more importantly, listen to your teachers. Your teachers and coaches, they've made it, okay? They're not just telling you this stuff just to hear themselves speak. So when they give you advice, when they tell you things, they mean it. They've done it. They're there. They've made it. So listen to what they're saying because they care for you. This is a family that you guys have here. I don't think you guys realize how much people care here because in college, it's not the same. In college, what happens is this is your class. This is sociology 101. And you don't understand something, you're going to raise your hand, and the teacher doesn't understand your question, and they're going to move on. So what's going to happen is Josie's going to call home, Mom, my teacher doesn't like me, but there's this cute boy. I don't want to drop it. He gave me his pen last week, so I'm just going to see what happens. But this teacher doesn't like me. That's what happens in college, minus the whole Josie thing and all that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's how you guys, talk to your parents. But when you guys go off to college or get your education, whatever you guys decide to do after this, I mean, education is key. You need some type of education. Enjoy college. Enjoy where you guys go, okay? Don't just pick a college because, my best friend Stacy's going there, or, my best friend Ben is going there. I got to go where Ben goes, and, we're going to be roommates, and we're going to, I don't know what you guys do nowadays. Like I said, I've been out of high school for a while, so I can only imagine. But either way, just, pick a college based off of what works best for you, all right? Pick a college with what best works for you. It's, I was heard to be seen at a lot of social gatherings in college. I'm not going to make that my claim to fame. I'm not going to confirm or deny that rumor. But I was a social butterfly. How about that? I was out all the time. Honestly, I was out. People asked, "Are there two of you? Oh, we see you everywhere. You're literally everywhere." I said, "Yeah, I'm always out." But during the day, I was always at the library. People didn't know that. People knew, they just knew, oh, there's Darian, he's out again. But I was always at the library. What I was saying is I was always, even though I was out and being social, I was still taking care of what I needed to take care of. I was still taking care of number one. And the number one reason why I went to school was for an education. I know it may not seem like that when you first get there, but you're actually there for an education, believe it or not. So, two things you can never have enough of in life. One of them I'm working on. The other one, not so much. Two things. You can never have enough contacts in your phone. And you can never have enough money in your bank account. Listen up. You may learn something today. You can never have enough contacts in your phone. And you can never have enough money in your bank account. The reason why I say this is networking is key. Believe it or not, networking will get you very, very, very far in life. You can't be afraid to pick up the phone. I reached out to Ms. Butler. I didn't know what she was going to say. She could have said, "No, I'm sorry, we're full. We're not going to do anything. We appreciate the offer." But I picked up the phone. I took a chance. She gave me a small opportunity. I spoke, what was that? I think it was last year. I think I spoke for maybe a second. I don't know if she liked it or not, but hey, I got the mic in my hand right now. What I'm saying is this: a small opportunity, hey, Ms. Butler, I just wanted to see, if this is a potential. No? Okay, I move on. But look where we're at right now. I get to share this story with all of you guys, all because I opened my mouth. Now imagine if you went through life like that. Imagine if you guys went through life like that, and that small opportunity that you guys had turned into a bigger opportunity and a bigger opportunity and a bigger opportunity. And next thing you know, you have your dream job. Not only do you have your dream job, but you're living in your dream house. Living in your dream house with your dream girlfriend or boyfriend. Small opportunities turn to big opportunities. Never pass up on an opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Oh man. This is with you guys being the age that you guys are, you guys are going to be introduced to unique situations. Some situations you guys have never been in before. I'll tell you this much. Every single action has a consequence. Every single action has a consequence. And while you guys go through life, even though you guys are young, I know you guys are put into situations you've never been in before. Think before you act. I'll tell you this much. With my 2 clothing companies, I'm looking to hire within the next 2 years. Every single job application says, "Have you ever been arrested?" Now, 1 out of 10 times, 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 times, you're going to get an interview. 1 out of 10 If you have, no disrespect to anybody who has, I'm throwing it away. I don't even want to look at it. You want to know why? Because I don't care. Because what's everybody's excuse? Well, yeah, I have been arrested, but it wasn't me. Or, oh, it wasn't my fault. Or, oh, it was just a mix-up. You know who said that same line? O.J. Simpson. And look what happened to him. So you guys have to be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of where you guys are. If the situation doesn't look good, get out. Get out. There will be another time to meet with friends. There will be another time to do that. All it takes is one slip up, and that's it. That's your life. That's the rest of your life. You do something that bad, that's it. You may never get hired again. Think about your actions before you guys make them. Really think about them. And I can't really stress that enough. So, like I said, I really want you guys to understand where you guys are right now. I really want you guys to really take for granted what you guys have. Guess the percentages of kids who get to go to a private school, who get to receive a private education. Just take a guess. 10% of kids. 10% of kids get to receive a private education. 10%. Which means you guys are part of that 10%. Congratulations. But that means nothing. It means nothing until you guys actually apply it. I understand this may go, through one ear and out the other, but I feel like something's going to click for one of you. Something will really click for one of you guys, and you guys will really take advantage of the situation that you guys are in. Now, I don't know everybody. And yes, my story is unique. Some of you guys may be even going through something that's worse than, what I went through. And I don't hope that, but what I'm saying is don't use that as a crutch, or don't use that as, well, this happened in my life, so I don't know. I mean, I gave it a good go. What do you mean gave it a good go? That means that should motivate you to work harder. That should motivate you to have that type of life that you get to see other people having. That's what you should want. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you should go out there and get it. Go out there and take it. That's it. Kick in opportunity's door. You guys are the elite few. I don't think you guys realize you guys are the future. You guys are it. You guys are those. Somebody's going to be the next this. Somebody's going to invent the next. This is it. This is you guys. I don't know if you guys realize that, but this is it. You guys are the elite. You guys have the tools to do that. I was a C student. I was a C student at Elyria Catholic. I know Ms. Butler probably doesn't want to be saying that, but I was a C student. I wasn't an A student. What was I? I was trying. Still to this day, I could read something, I don't comprehend it. I read it, and it takes me twice to read it, and then I comprehend it. I remember I forget the name of the class, but it took me a while to understand things. What I'm saying is through hard work and dedication, I'm standing here with whatever accolades I have right now. That's a C student. So imagine if you're a B student, or imagine the possibilities you have. Imagine the possibilities you can do. I just really want you guys to understand the opportunity you guys have right here in front of you. Because you guys are the elite. One of you guys could invent the next Facebook. Just remember me, okay? Remember when those checks come in. If somebody does invent the next Facebook, all right? Remember me, I'm serious. You make some serious money. But every single day I ask myself, what am I doing today to prepare for tomorrow? You guys need to ask yourself, what am I doing today to prepare for tomorrow? So every single day I wake up, I read Entrepreneur. I have the app, Entrepreneur app. I try to read 2 articles a day. 2 articles a day that relate to me, and it helps me better me as a business person. I love business. I love understanding about business. I love how business works. Quote unquote, I guess most people wouldn't classify me, but I would say that I'm an entrepreneur. Now, as an entrepreneur right now, I have 2 businesses. I also invest, in a business. Also invest in the stock market. But let me just throw some math at you guys right now. Now, once again, this is a perfect world. Obviously, we don't live in a perfect world, but you never know. Hey. So right now, I am 26 years old, turning 27 next month. My goal is to buy buy a business for the next 12 years. One business every single year for the next 12 years. So that would put me up to 12, 14, 15. I would like to have 15 businesses by the time it's all said and done. So if I were to, let's just say, make $1,000 a week from 12 businesses, how much money do you think that is per year? $1,000 a week, 12 businesses. Don't ask me, I was a PR major, so you guys are gonna have to figure that out. Well, I'll give you a hint. Well, I'll tell you the answer. $624,000. Once again, this is a perfect world. Now, what if I made half of that? 12 businesses, $500. Think about investing in your future today. Think about it. Everybody has $1, right? You're welcome. Let me segue into that. I was actually joking with Mr. Wisner. I literally thought about coming up here and just making it rain. But like I said, I didn't think that would go over too well with him. But on a serious note though, the reason why I gave everybody $1 is this. I understand $1 is not much nowadays, but it's a start. This is what I would like to see. So I've started a email account, okay? Start an email account. What I would like you guys to do is I would like you guys to somehow invest or give back in one way, shape, or form with that $1. Now, how are you guys gonna do it? I'm not gonna give you any answers. You wanna know why? Because I would get 430 emails back of exactly what I told you guys to do. So I'm not gonna do that. I want you guys to think outside the box, okay? I want you guys to think, what can I do with this $1? Can I start something? Can I use this $1 and put that towards other dollars to start something? Can I use this $1 to do this? Can I use this $1 to do that? I want you guys to really think outside the box. And I'll tell you this much. The most creative person, and I should be getting 432 emails in 2 weeks. The most creative person, I will personally buy 2 Cavs tickets for next season. The most creative person, I'm the judge of it, so I'm not taking any type of favorites. I literally don't know anybody. Probably know a couple of your brothers and sisters, but I'm not sure anybody. But I really want you guys to honestly think and think outside the box. I don't want to get 20 of the same thing, all right? I want you guys to think outside the box. I want you guys to really think, how can I invest this to make a difference? How can I invest today to make a difference for tomorrow? I'll get you guys that email. I know you guys probably can't write it down, but I do have the email here. Like I said, Elyria Catholics is waiting for that next one, that next person, that next thing. Like I said, somebody out here could invent the new Facebook. Somebody out here could invent the new Instagram. Somebody out here could be the next Cam Newton. Somebody could be the next LeBron James. I don't know. The only people who know that, honestly, are you guys. That's it. You guys are the ones that know that. Nobody else knows that but you guys. So who's it going to be? Darian Thomas. You guys may learn something today.